Everybody, I hope you're all well. Welcome to our Gold Coast Women's Health Networking platform. So let me introduce myself. Actually, to this week's topic is World Breastfeeding Week. All right, so we are celebrating that with Shona. Shona is right here, right now. So like to call me, and I am health and wellness. I'm just going to health and wellness coach and founder of this platform. And Shona is here. Hi, Shona. How are you?
Hey, Ange, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for being here and for your time. I know how tight you would be in time, but thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. So I just get my little introduction and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to read out your bio quickly, okay?
Okay.
So Shona is a mom of two and has been an international board certified lactation consultant since 2011, meaning she is a certified health professional and expert in management of breastfeeding and human lactation. Her style of supporting mums and bubs through what can be a scary and emotional time is based on practical, safe guidance and evidence, and helping mum meet their own feeding goals. And then, yes, and there, yeah, that's it. That's amazing.
That's
Thank you.
enough.
Because sometimes there's such a long intro, and I'm like, I was trying to find, I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you need to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have important, short, and sweet job, right? That is what you
Yeah.
do. Yeah, and yeah. Before we start our Q&A question, I would like to read this brief disclaimer about that this talk is all about to bring awareness on our World Breastfeeding Week topic, and not a specific medical advice for anybody. So if you need support, please reach out to your health practitioner, or you can always reach out to Shona, and people can reach out to you via your in your website email. Yeah,
Yeah. And on Instagram, they can DM if they like. Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever way is easiest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So okay, so should we just hang on. Yes. So okay. So I have already said that Shona is a lactation consultant and advocate for women and babies. The
Yeah.
another one, yes.
Yeah.
And so tell us about World Breastfeeding Week and what's it all about.
Okay. So World Breastfeeding Week is an event organized every year by the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action. So that's WABA. And it's a global network that aims to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding. And they started it back in 1992. And every week there's a different theme. Sorry, every year there's a different theme. And
Mm,
this year's theme is prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support
sustainable.
systems. So it aligns breastfeeding with action that we need to take regarding sustainability and climate change. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is this sustainability look like?
Okay, so I guess firstly, I'm really mindful that when we talk about World Breastfeeding Week, that this can be quite triggering for some women, especially if
Mm,
they haven't had a good breastfeeding experience or they haven't met their own goals. So I recognize that this week can be really hard, but I still always want to promote World Breastfeeding Week because it's not about making women feel sad or guilty or angry, but it's a chance to
mm,
highlight the way we support women in the postpartum period and the fact that sometimes and still today, it's still not good enough how we support women in that, postpartum period. So this year, World Breastfeeding Week is about supporting women to meet their own breastfeeding goals, and it's about environment and climate change, okay? Because
mm,
breastfeeding is a natural, renewable food that's
mm.
environmentally safe, right? So we always talk about it's produced and delivered from us, so there's no pollution, there's no packaging, there's no waste,
No.
and it's a sustainable solution for the planet and for the people of this planet. But
Absolutely.
breastfeeding can be really challenging though, and if we don't have the right support at the right time, then we're going to really struggle to be able to breastfeed. Yeah. So,
Yes.
and we know that most women in Australia want to breastfeed. Something like 96% of women leave hospital breastfeeding. So they start breastfeeding, but then by 3 months, less than 40% of babies are being exclusively breastfed, and the figures keep on
Mm.
falling after that. So somewhere in that early postpartum period, we are not supporting women the way we should be. Yeah.
Mm. So that is there is the gap between the support after leaving the hospital.
Yeah, and maybe even in the hospital too. Like it's difficult to say. Some women are not in the hospital for very long, sometimes just for a
Mm.
day or two. And when you know a little bit about breastfeeding, you know that it's only about day 3 that your milk properly starts to be produced in bigger volumes. So you're still in
Mm.
that learning period and yet you're sent home. Yeah. So we're just in Australia just not supporting women who want to breastfeed and supporting them in a way that's working for them. And this has a knock-on effect for the environment and climate change because if breastfeeding rates are low, then we have to use more
Mm.
formula. And formula is a really necessary product when we don't have breast milk or we can't breastfeed. But it's a
Yes.
manufactured product which uses a lot of the earth's resources. It has a big environmental footprint at all stages of its manufacture, delivery, and even when we think about
Mm.
what we have to use to give
Carbon
babies.
pollution.
Yeah, like we do
Mm.
have we have to use bottles and teats and all of those things to give the formula to babies. Okay. So
Mm.
I think though the messaging around the support for women in the postpartum period needs to be at all levels. It needs to be, yes, healthcare workers, local community, and different levels of government. It has to be everybody. We all have to connect together to
Mm.
give that support to women
No,
who've just had
absolutely.
babies. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Because
Mm,
before I never connected that, with the environment, and then how the breastfeeding is connected, you know. And
yeah.
in past sometimes when I was breastfeeding, it's like a fast food for kid, like
Mm,
it's ready there. You just,
correct.
latch the baby and you don't need to do, have anything. But
No.
at the same time, thinking of all the other moms who did not get the support during that time, and
Mm.
then they had to come up with another solution. So
That's
I
right.
think
That's
we
right.
really need to talk about this and bring more awareness and be able to support, that after leaving hospital.
Yeah, because we're told this thing that breastfeeding is natural, it's something we should be able to do, but it's actually a learned skill. So it's something we have to learn.
Mm.
Now, we will really struggle if we come from a society where we don't see women breastfeeding, because who have we been watching? Before we become a mum, have we seen anyone else breastfeeding? Sometimes we
Yes.
haven't. In
Mm.
cultures where breastfeeding is more than normal and we see it everywhere around us, women will be more likely to breastfeed because all the women are doing it and they've always
Yes.
seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm always talking to women when they're pregnant about, learning about breastfeeding while you're pregnant because, education is key. If we know a little bit about it beforehand, then
Mm.
we're not going to have to be like searching around for that information at 2 in the morning when we've got a little baby. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
doing some learning beforehand. There's lots of free resources to learn about
Mm.
breastfeeding
Yes.
beforehand, and maybe even linking up with a lactation consultant or a knowledgeable midwife beforehand. Because then if
Mm.
you do run into difficulty, you know the person already and you can call them up, so
Yes.
you've planned and prepared for breastfeeding. And then
Mm.
if you hit some speed bumps, then you know who to go to get some help. And that can make
Yes.
such a difference.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And they can guide you to what you could do, right?
Correct. That's right.
Yes.
That's
Mm.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It was so when I had my first one in first baby in France,
Mm.
but I grew up in that, in Nepal,
Yeah.
and with there is no, I didn't even know there is another option that you could feed formula.
Yes.
Honestly, I did not know that, right?
No.
But
Mm.
because everyone did, and no shame of feeding the baby in a public or whatever, we just they and so
You
it
just
was
do it.
so normal for me. And
Mm.
when I came to realize that there is a formula out there that you can feed the baby, for me it was a very new thing. But with my first one, I struggled to the breastfeed. And
Mm.
then I felt really ashamed that it
That's
is
right.
natural and I
Mm.
should be able to do it without any of struggle,
Well,
right?
that's
And
right.
so
Yeah.
when
Mm.
that happened, I was like, I didn't even know if I should ask for help because this
Mm.
is, shameful. But
Yeah.
it's not that is not the case, right? Because
No, that's not right.
yeah,
And
in
yeah,
a
you're
village you have the whole village to teach you,
correct.
or
That's
but
right.
when you come to city and you are by yourself, you don't have
Hmm.
anyone, your mom, your grandma, no one is supporting you. So that
That's
is
right.
when you people like yourself play the vital role, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. When you come from an area, the background that you have where breastfeeding was normal, it was the thing you
Mm,
were going to do. As you say, you didn't know there was another option, but then because you were a migrant in a different country and you didn't have the support systems around you, you struggled.
yes.
And that's a common story in Australia. So
Mm,
lots of women from migrant backgrounds in Australia, they come from cultures where breastfeeding is normal. They come here and they
mm,
don't breastfeed. Like they try, but they struggle, and then they
mm,
see formula and they might use that. And that's the other flip side of all of this sustainability thing is
mm,
making sure that formula is available for all babies that need it, but making sure that formula companies are not advertising and undermining a woman's choice to breastfeed. And that's part of the problem we have here. So there'll be a lot of
yes.
discussion this week around the way that formula manufacturers market to parents and parents to be to tell them about their product and try to make them use it, okay, which is
Mm,
unethical. It is
yes.
unethical.
Yes.
And at a
Yes.
world level, we do have rules and legislation. We have something called the WHO Code, which is meant to regulate how formula manufacturers are are controlled in terms of how they market their products. But unfortunately, in
Mm,
Australia, that's not enacted into legislation. So here we do get formula manufacturers marketing to parents, and
mm.
that's not right. Okay,
Yes, so we
so
have to have that open mindset that what is this company trying to do, right? Is it
correct.
for myself and my baby's benefit, or
Mm.
they are coming from their benefit side of
That's
it?
right. And they're very clever at it as well. They will like have this they might come across as they're trying to help you, okay, but at the
Mm,
bottom line, people who make things are trying to sell that thing to you, okay?
yes,
And I don't feel that that's right. So
yes.
part of what's important is that in Australia we get this WHO code enacted into legislation, and we're working at different levels to try and make that the case, because then women will be better supported to breastfeed, because people won't be influenced by the marketing that they see all around us in society.
Mm.
Yeah,
No,
but it's
it's
hard.
oh yes, it's very emotional manipulative
It
marketing
is.
strategy, right? So
Mm-mm,
when you see the, baby and the mum bonding and those kind of things in the
mm-hmm,
video, you
mm-hmm,
you want that, and you would
mm-hmm.
think that you don't realize that they're trying to play with the emotional,
That's right.
they,
Because we all just want the best for our children. That's all that we want. Okay.
yes,
But it's
but
really frustrating when women want to breastfeed and then they're not getting the support that they need. So they're hitting
mm,
hurdles along the way. They're not sure how to solve them, or they're going to get some help and they're not getting the help they deserve. So that's the
mm,
other thing, is we need to make sure that at all levels of our healthcare system, that our healthcare professionals are well educated on breastfeeding and how to support women. And that isn't the case. Okay, so
yes,
even our GPs get very little breastfeeding education within their general education. So many GPs are excellent at supporting women at breastfeeding, but it's usually because they've gone on and done extra work and extra study to make sure their
mm,
skill set is there. Okay, but if we had better breastfeeding knowledge within all of our healthcare system levels, then more women would be able to breastfeed.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes, so what is the is every year, is it getting better in Australia in that, bringing the awareness around it? Is the government changing the rules around it or not?
I think things move really slowly at governmental level. So the
Mm,
last proper survey, my understanding is the last proper survey we had on breastfeeding rates in Australia, I think was in 2010. So they're collecting data, but it's not at a national level. And, you know, there's lots of really good people working on this, trying to improve breastfeeding rates. But unfortunately, the rates haven't really changed in 20 odd years. And in fact, the marketing is getting more and more common. And with the rise of social media and all of that as well, then there's more and more misinformation and maybe deliberate disinformation out there about it. So we're not making progress yet, but there are lots of good people, way more qualified than me, working on this to try and make it better for all the mums and all the families. Yeah.
Yes. And people like us, we might make it maybe tiny little difference, but, you know, let's keep trying, right?
Well, that's right. That's right. If women come to me and they're choosing to breastfeed and they're wanting support with that, I will do my very best to get them good information, evidence-based information that's not affected by marketing, so then they can make the choices that are right for their family. That's all we want. But women struggle to get information, especially women in rural and remote areas. They don't have access to healthcare. One of the things we were chatting before we came live on this, one of the things that I do is I volunteer my time with the Breastfeeding Association. They run the National Breastfeeding Helpline. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's counsellors like me on there all day long. We're taking calls all day long, trying to help women who are seeking that information. And the Breastfeeding Association works really hard to especially make sure that our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people can access this information, that our rural and remote mums and babies can access this information, because there's different levels of difficulty with women in Australia accessing the information that they need to continue breastfeeding.
Yeah. So this is a free service for
the Breastfeeding
everybody.
Association is a free service. That's right. The National Breastfeeding Helpline is free from all phones now. It used to be you had to pay from some mobiles, but you don't anymore. They also have a live chat option, which runs certain days of the week and certain evenings, where again you can just jump on the website, text in your questions, and you'll get replies back. And then there's all different levels of support that then you can access, some free, some not. The Breastfeeding Association runs like local events and local groups as well to provide more support. So yes, that's a free service. It's funded through the federal government. And that's another thing that we struggle with within the Breastfeeding Association, is we have to keep reapplying for funding every 3 years. So you're running the service, and then just like every other service, you've got to reapply to keep it going. Okay, so we need better commitment from government to really just make sure that that service is always going to be available for mums and babies.
It's very yes, it's a lot to think about, isn't it? It's not just the breastfeeding journey, but as well as in a big picture, it's a global effort.
That's
to
right.
make this happen and make this sustainable, right?
Exactly. We know that breastfeeding is beneficial for mums and babies for health outcomes. It does improve health overall, okay? And again, the messaging this year as well, it's also more sustainable, okay? And we're all trying to save this planet right now. So maybe that's going to be the extra push that we need to make sure that women in Australia are properly supported to breastfeed when they tell us that they want to.
Yes. And we support those mums, as you know, if they are struggling and they haven't been able to for some reason, and you would still guide them through.
Of course,
if
absolutely.
they come to you, and you know, it's not a shameful thing, because we have never been shown, and you know, you cannot, even you try to latch the, you know, baby or practice before the pregnancy, but it's not the same as when the baby is literally latching on you and
That's
knowing
right.
their natural, like, you know. So,
Exactly. So as a board certified lactation consultant, all of us who are IBCLCs will support women no matter how they're feeding their babies, no matter what the challenges are. Okay, we just want to help you navigate that. Okay. It's just, I just feel it's such a shame so many women want to breastfeed and then they don't get the help they need when they hit hurdles and they give up, and it's later on they'll tell me, I wish I'd gone on for longer, I wish I'd got better information. And most of my colleagues who work in this space, that's a common story, right? So we're not supporting women the way we should be, okay? And as a society, we need to do better.
Yes. So we have to amplify this voice to make it louder and
if
make
we
it
can.
more. Yes, absolutely. So I heard that you work with not I heard, but I know that you work with Dr. Francis Knight, right? And
Yes.
in Mum and Baby Clinic.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
so the question is this only for breastfeeding moms?
No, this is for all mums. So again, Francis and I have, known each other for a long time, and we've
Mm,
been now working together for over a year. And our idea is to like have a clinic service where basically you can access everything you need in that postpartum period. So everything to do with mum and everything to do with baby. So
mm,
I look at all the feeding things, and then, Dr. Francis does everything that she can do. And we share some of the other questions that might come up, like related to sleep and things like that with babies. Okay, but in one of the barriers to getting help for a mum and a baby together is that there
mm.
aren't many places where you can go and get both of you helped at the same time. Okay, and when you've
Yes,
just had a baby, it's so hard to get out of the house. You don't want to be going to two different places or three different places.
yes,
So our mum and baby clinic is like a one-stop shop, like where you
yes.
can come and get all the help you need.
Mm,
And we also run a mum and baby group on a Tuesday morning.
So
And
you have
that's,
different location, right?
we do. We're at Rabina on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and we're at Hope Island on a Wednesday. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can go either wherever you're
Either.
closest to. Like,
Whatever is easiest. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
And again, mums and babies, they can find us through our Instagram. We've also got a website. You can find out more about us. You can message us if you're not sure. Yeah.
yeah. Dr.
Mm.
Francis puts the videos, and sometimes I laugh too of you. So it's a yeah, it brings a fun, and as well as what you're doing is so
Mm.
important, and like you said, it's a one-stop shop for
That's
both
right.
mums and bubs.
Just
Yeah.
trying to make sure that we're not missing anything, that mums and babies are able to get all of the help that they need. And Francis and I are passionate about this. We
Yes.
want to help mums. That's all it's about. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. That's why you're here, right? So
Yeah,
to
that's right.
raise the awareness around the
Mm.
breastfeeding
Mm.
week. So,
Mm.
all right, if any of our guests has any question, please pop in the comment section, please. Yeah, Shona, tell us where people can find you or Dr. Francis or your services.
Okay, so yeah, you can find we're both sort of linked on Instagram. If you follow my page, you'll see Francis's things pop up there. You can direct message us if you like,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the links to our website. You can register via our website if you're looking for an appointment, and we can get back to you if that's easier. Same with our mum and baby group. You can join our email list, and that way then you'll get a notification every few weeks of the topics that are coming up. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, tomorrow at Mum and Baby Group, we're running a session. It's basically just about feeding.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding, as in breastfeeding, bottle feeding, mixed feeding, pumping, whatever else is going on for you. And we run a session within the Medical on Rabina medical practice. And you just come along. It's really relaxed, really informal. We have some morning tea, we have a cup of coffee, and just work through that process. And you can ask any questions you've got. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
medical on Robina is like when I go in, it's like
Mm.
a retreat place. It's so
It is a very
beautiful,
nice practice.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like wow, I come at some retreat place in here.
Yeah, and on a Tuesday morning when all the mums and babies are arriving, it's lovely because our receptionists look after them. They take them through to the room that we're using, and it's got a really nice vibe about it all when the mums and babies are there.
Yes,
Yeah.
no,
Mm,
staff,
mm,
yeah, the staff in there is beautiful. The ladies at
mm,
the reception, they are very
mm, mm,
welcoming, very,
mm-hmm.
beautiful.
That's
So
good.
it always makes you feel welcome, even
Yep.
when I'm
Mm,
feeling a bit intimidated to go in and giving your flyers, and I'm like, oh, and they are really
no.
beautiful.
Mm,
So,
mm.
yeah, thank you, Shona, for being here, and I truly appreciate all your time and all the knowledge that you have around breastfeeding and the support you are giving out to our mums and bubs. And yes, so
Yeah,
next
thank you for
next
having
year,
me here. Yeah, I
yes,
know.
I
Like
would
I think
love
this
to. I would love to. And next year we will book you in next year straight
this
right away. And
that's
yeah, we will
yeah.
do this again every
Mm-hmm.
year as we can give hope. And so hoping that we can make tiny little difference in our
Fingers
community.
crossed.
All right.
Yeah, let's keep
Thank you.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Shona.
No
And
problem.
so we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.